right, everybody. Next matchup's coming up.
This is a really good one we got here. Eric Vargas taking on Sean McKay. We're live from the Leather Pocket in Calgary, Alberta, Canada at the Fall Classic.
I believe this is going to be an annual tournament.
Which
be nice.
I like the idea of that. Name them something, you know,
Yeah.
and then just have it a mainstay, right?
Yeah. Just going to get the comments going here. Bear with us quickly.
We'll follow along with the Facebook and the YouTube chat. We're live on both.
Looks like Eric won the toss. First to break.
He's been breaking really good too. Look at this. Just as I say it, he just crushes it. Look out, 5
9
ball.
ball. Come on, get by it.
He hit it too good. He didn't deserve that.
That's always heartbreaker, right? You know, like you break so good, everything is well laid out, and then just that last ball rolling.
That's always the way it
just
goes,
slaps
right?
you in the face.
That was a slap in the face because he really did hit that as good as possible in my eyes. Hey, Barb.
Barbaloo.
Thank you, Barb. You're the best too.
Thanks, Barb.
Push
that
out.
definitely means more than you know.
That's right. Push out from Mr. Vargas. Brings Sean McKay to the table here.
Nice little push out, and Sean can just see the edge of this one, I believe.
I think he's got the whole ball.
Do you think so?
Yeah, he does. Yes, but he doesn't have the right side of it. He's going to bank this. That's kind of the one spot where the players would be able to hear us, was where Sean was standing there. So we were a little quiet. Good two-way shot. Keep it contained. I think Eric's going to probably bank this one ball up near the 6-10. Try to leave the cue ball up where he's pointing there. He's so good at those little touchy shots.
Nice little tick.
Misplayed a little, but I don't think he sold out. This combo is definitely makeable, but very tough.
If you guys are just tuning in, this is the Fall Classic from the Leather Pocket Pool Hall in Calgary, Alberta. We had a total of 42 players, staggered entry. A side is being played 10 ball on the 9 foots, racing to 9. B side is on the 7 foots, still 10 ball, racing to 7. So nice, quick tournament. Everything is running smoothly as per usual. Nice for the players because it's not a huge wait time in between matches.
On that note, too, I will be up fairly soon. I'm waiting the winner of Greg and Mike,
who should be finishing pretty soon. I think it's 7-4 for somebody. I think it's
5, I think, 7-5.
7-5. Mike Fadoon making a comeback. I think it was Greg that was up earlier.
They've both been struggling a little over there. I was playing next to them. Seemed to be a common theme. Except for, I imagine on this table, it didn't look like Jason was struggling too much.
Jason definitely was not struggling too much.
How many breaking runs did he have? Handful?
It was, yeah, it was close. I mean, he won handedly. It was a 9-1 win. But, you know, Mike had his chances. Just made a couple of, like, untimely mistakes. And obviously, you let somebody like Jason at the table, and he's going to try and crush it.
Yeah, it doesn't take too many mistakes.
No. 9-foot table, everything is fairly open. Blue ball typically has a pocket, so there's not too much struggle, just a little tricky to get on sometimes, but I mean, Jason manipulates that cue ball so good.
Well, he didn't get a 770 Fargo by having bad cue ball control.
It is true.
He's a wizard with that cue ball.
Right? He is a pleasure to watch too. He was breaking really well in the end. He actually broke his breaker in Edmonton, so he's been without a breaker. So he ended up, and I found out he had another stick here, but I guess he wasn't using it. But he was breaking with his shooter, and it was working for him.
Whatever does the job.
Well, I mean, we were saying Grant was sitting in at the very end there, and we were saying how nice his break is to watch, because he's actually really not crushing it.
No,
break.
it's very
He's not
smooth.
overhitting the break.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing with the turtle rack 10 ball on these slick tables. If you hit it too hard, it actually doesn't work well. So you gotta find that speed. John and I were talking about it earlier.
Good to know.
There's a sweet speed where the balls go in the side nice. Although Eric crushed his and they went in too. So
A word from the wise, everybody. Take note.
Tony White from Newfoundland. What's up, buddy? Commenting along with the YouTube. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure you click that share button for us. We're going to be live all night, I think.
We're down to 8 on the A side.
So possibly one more A-side match tonight, but we're not sure. But we'll turn the camera around and watch some of the B-side after this match.
Yeah, it's a good little setup you guys made up here this time. Can swing the camera around easily. That's kind of what happened last time, is the camera setup wasn't really conducive to watching both sides of the room, but this setup works pretty good.
And we tucked ourselves away in the corner so we don't have anybody bothering us, yelling in our ear and whatnot.
It was
What?
hard to avoid yesterday because there's a lot of action happening on the side of the room, but
That's nice and quiet over here now. I'm really enjoying this.
that's nice. It's like 8 tables on this side and 8 tables on the other side, so everybody's nice and spread out, so it's not.
Yeah, if you guys have never
Super.
been to Leather Pocket, definitely worth checking out if you're in the area, or make a field trip out of it.
Absolutely.
Beautiful room. Just the best conditions. They do really well with keeping these tables super clean. Great
hall.
balls.
Yeah.
Balls too. You know, the Arcos too.
Yep. And even better people, I think.
Service is great. The food is great. The drinks are cold.
That's all that matters. Thanks for tuning in, Marshall. Marshall's watching from Las Vegas, Nevada, our home away from home.
Jealous. Jealousy to the maximum. It's cold here. And I imagine
It's a
it's
little
not
chilly.
cold there.
It's a little chilly here in Calgary. Just over the mountains. This is kind of like the mountain weather. The
Eric.
first 10 ball for Eric.
Spears it in to go up 1-0. And it is a winner breaks format on both sides. We're playing 10 ball on the 9-foot on the winner's side, race to 9. And we're playing 10 ball on the 7-foot on the loser side, race to 7. So we got lots of matches going on the B side as well. You guys can check out the bracket on Challenge. I believe the link is on Calgary Pool Scene if you want to go there to find it.
Yeah, I think I've actually got it up here.
Let me close or move the logo off first.
Let's do that first, just in case you guys want to watch stuff.
We really want to watch Eric break. Me in particular, because I want to learn. James says, going from diamond tables to Valley bar box, please tell me it isn't so. No, it's not Valley bar box. They're diamond bar boxes.
Diamonds on both sides.
And hello, James from Lincoln City. Yeah, Tony, hopefully we'll catch you around. There you go. Steph's got the link there to the
There
bracket.
you go.
I suppose since you can't really see the table, we could probably
Oh, it's okay. This view is good.
go like that.
Ooh,
Wow.
snazzy.
Mind blown. So I think I'm going to watch this rack, and then I'm going to go try to let my eyes settle.
Eyes schmize.
I know, right?
Just use the force.
I'm trying. The force is keeping me awake, I think. Oh, thank you, Keith, for tuning in from Victoria. Eric's Fargo, yeah, I have it right here. It's 7:20.
What's Sean?
Eric.
What's Sean?
Oh, what is Sean? 7:10.
So, 10-point swing between these two and Fargo.
They're both super players. There's not much separating these guys. I've done battle with them both lots. Eric especially. Gravy draw in Edmonton 2 weeks ago. Draw him first round. It was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. It was teammates, Ben and Eric. Teammates, roadies, friends.
That draw was so weird.
And then
It was like
Sandy and Mike.
Yeah, and Janry and Mike Crookedneck were like arguing the night before, and then they drew each other in first round. I'm like, oh. And then Sandy and Mike and me
What
and
are the
Eric, I'm
odds?
like, what is
Yeah.
going on
I know,
here?
it was a weird draw.
It's funny how that happens. Well, you guys got a weird draw too. I shouldn't say you guys. You
Yeah,
girls got a
this-
weird
The
draw.
ladies, yeah. It was just, there's 3 ladies out of 42 players in this event. And Lan and Reagan got drawn in the first match. And then Lan lost. Reagan ended up playing Mick. And then Reagan ended up playing me on the B side.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was just kind of strange. There's a top lady prize, and the 3 of us, like, right off the bat, within 2-3 matches,
Somebody had already won it.
Yeah, play each other. It was just, it's not ideal. Anyways,
Look at this little shot from Sean. What a great
wow,
shot.
that was great.
And I think he's given himself a chance at this bank. Possibly. I like it because the cue ball's running up table where the 4 is anyway. He may choose to only play safe here. He's going behind the 6. I don't mind this play either.
I actually prefer this play.
I prefer the more aggressive line, only because of who you're playing as well. Eric kicks the ball as good as anyone. And he jumps well too. As you see, he's got the jump cue out. So I don't mind giving myself a chance at the bank rather than what's happening here. Like, he's got to be at least like 10 or 20% to make this.
I wish we could get like the odds, like how like in poker they've got the hands and the odds and the outs.
Oh my goodness.
He did not miss that by much.
Are you kidding me? But see, this is what I'm talking about too, because now Sean's in another weird spot, right?
Good news, bad news. Sean sees this 3, but it doesn't have an open pocket. I don't believe it passes the 4 or the 5. Does it pass the 5? Well, this is a tough back cut anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very tough. I think we'll see him play another safe shot here. Might be bank the 3 up near the 10. Keep the cue ball up table. Possibly behind the 5, but you don't want to worry about that too much. You just want to get the 3 safe, I think. Oh no, he's going to double
collision.
kiss it. Oh, that's definitely a big mistake there. And a great chance for Eric to double the lead. And it looks like Mike Verdum has won a game over there, so it's like 7-6 possibly.
It was 7-3 or 7-4 when I checked in a little while ago.
They are grinding. They started at 3. Oh, just after 3, I think. So they're running on 2 hours, which is not uncommon for a race to 9, 10 ball.
We're down to 8 guys on the A side. It looks like Mark Vinogradov is playing James Hornby over there. Greg Cairns and Mike Fadoon are finishing up a 3 o'clock match. Should be finished fairly shortly. Obviously, this one here that we're watching was Sean and Eric. And then who is to come is actually Clat and Joe.
And Joe, yeah.
They're going to be playing on the table that Greg and Mike are playing on. So
Okay, I see.
yeah.
So I'll be playing on 16?
Yes, you'll be playing on 16.
That makes sense. I was kind of wondering why they were waiting to start, but yeah, Joe just played on 16, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Too bad we couldn't stream that match, too. Holy
Well, I
smokes.
really wanted to, but I feel like,
Now you
you
gotta
know,
mix
the
it up.
high percentage of seeing those guys still further in the tournament, obviously.
Yeah, well, one of them's going to be
Yeah,
in the Final Four on the A side,
sure.
so we'll be seeing them again.
yeah. But I mean, obviously, a Jason Klatt, Joe Spence collision is amazing to watch. Both incredible players.
Yeah, they played 2 weeks ago up in Edmonton. Joe played fantastic. One of the best wins of his career, for sure.
He's just been playing so solid lately.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Tony White, James Brinson, Norbert watching on YouTube.
Did you see Jarrett's comment there?
Oh, hey, Jarrett. How are you? Good to see you tuning in, as usual.
Nice to see lots of people tuning in for this match. We have
Mhm.
about 125 on the Facebook. I'm not sure how many on the YouTube.
Yeah, the number's not populating
It's
there.
telling me 0, but that's not right.
That's not right.
It's great. Make sure you guys are sharing the stream lots. This is some fantastic pool we're getting the pleasure of watching here. Mr. Vargas spearing in balls.
David, these are just your average size tips, nothing spectacular. They're not the 12-9s, not the 11-8s. I think they're both playing with like the average 12-3, 12-4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they're playing any smaller than that.
No.
Definitely not any bigger than that. Pretty common, 12-3, 12-4. You will see some players going as low as like 11-8, but
I find it's harder to, like, you get more action on the ball, but it's harder to,
pot.
yeah,
Yeah, it is. Definitely have to be more accurate.
which is not my specialty. So
Well-
I feel like that wouldn't help me.
Yeah, and I feel like we play a lot of bar box, you know, where you don't
do.
need all that action.
We do.
You just need minimal action, and you just need to make the balls and keep it simple, you know. So I lied. I'm going to watch one more rack because, you know,
It's like watching a freight train,
it's like I can't.
like a train wreck.
Yeah, I'm like a deer in headlights. I just can't look away, you know. See, I think he's hitting it too hard, but
Still making balls, and a good look at the one.
that worked. Yeah, the 3's a little funny, but the 2's right next door, so.
So if you can get a little bit closer on the 2, closer to the rail, he can either bump that 9 out or maybe even land perfect.
This is a tricky little shot because it's very, very thin. And it's hard to hold this ball. That's why he's looking way up there. It's hard to get there where he just pointed. That's really hard to do. David says he plays with a 9mm tip. Holy
It's like,
smokes.
that's like a pen.
That's a twig. But the balls are smaller, I believe, in English pool. Possibly. Depends what kind of English pool, I guess. And Jarrett switched back to the Revo. Best advice ever.
Whoa, 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 cue ball, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Disappeared behind the 7. He's
Yeah, I think that just
not
went
loving that.
a little bit further than expected.
I think he might still have this. Like, he didn't really look phased by it, so. Yeah, now he's looking at the 3. He's got enough. Oh, and he gets the extra bump from the 9.
That's kind of that's the one I saw. As soon as I seen the 2-3 there like that, if you could just get the angle, go into the 9. I do like that.
What's up, David Wilson? Doing okay, getting fairly lucky. We were here pretty late last night, so, or early this morning, however you want to put it.
Well, that's just how it rolls sometimes in these tournaments.
That's right. I'm definitely used to it. It's certainly harder now that I'm taking the boy to school every day because I have to actually wake up in the morning.
Adulting stuff?
Yeah, it's the worst, right?
I know. I
So
know.
then I'm not used to staying up so late. So I fade away a lot quicker. Blake loves the wood still. Fair enough.
I feel like you need to find a better way to express that, Blake.
Other than he loves the feel of wood.
I think the air conditioning's getting to me.
Oh, we got some hockey games commencing. Looks like the Oilers are playing the Golden Knights.
Tony White, I was actually explaining this in the last stream. We're pretty good advocates here for reporting to Fargo. Every tournament, weekends, big tournaments, Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournaments, they're all reported to Fargo. The only ones we don't report would be something like a fundraiser type fun tournament, which, are not accurate. But we report everything to Fargo because we actually do a lot of staggered entry or a few handicap tournaments, although we're starting to steer a little bit away from the handicaps. But we'd much rather do like a staggered entry tournament. So if you're a lower Fargo, you pay less to enter the tournament, which I think I actually favor that.
Yeah, I think it's really great. And I don't often say that when it comes to any form of handicap and pool, but
honestly, for like myself, who is like a 540 Fargo, you can either have my $50 or I'll just sit on the sidelines and watch.
And that's exactly right.
Right. I'd enter this tournament, and which I did at $50, but I'm not going to pay 100 plus.
Well, yeah, even 100, right?
To get the regular beatdown.
I was talking to Mike about that too because he played because it was cheaper as well.
Of course, there was lots of us that played because it was a lower entry.
And it was different a little bit when I came through, where most of these events were $75.
Yeah.
That was like the average entry fee was $75.
Now they're over 100.
Now I feel like 125 is like the going rate for a tournament, you know.
Which gets pricey, especially, coming out of recession, which Calgary's had a lot of recessions over the last few years.
That's right.
Coming out of pandemic, where a lot of people are not working, stuff like that. So a lot of things have contributed to that. And I think that it's just better to get the lower players money in the pot and get them in there and playing and learning versus not.
Yeah, well, and that's the biggest thing, right, is the experience, the learning. So getting used to big tournament pressure and big match pressure, and learning is key, but very cheap at $50 or even $75, right?
Cheap lessons, honestly, $50, and I was here pretty much all night last night and today playing pool, and hanging with my buddies.
Fred from Winnipeg. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone else out there, too, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys are clicking that share button lots for us. I am going to leave you guys with Steph now after I watch Eric break.
Those fancy dancy breaks.
He's hitting it good. Let's see it. Cue ball's going to pop up about a foot.
He does like to pop the ball.
Oh, he lost it a little, but look at this. Okay, I've seen enough.
Not bad. That's good.
All right, catch you guys later.
Okay. All right, guys, just me and all of you. Yeah, Jarrett, you should try to see if you can make it out to some of these weekend tournaments. Honestly, they've been They've been great. Like I actually haven't been one for coming out to a lot of weekend tournaments. Just it just hasn't really lit my fire, to be honest. But these ones here at Leather Pocket have been really good. Um, I did the Friday night tournament. It was a little bit more expensive. It's the $30, but it's the handicapped race. So, say for example, I am rated like a level 2, I believe it is, and Ben is an 8. So you would go to a chart and we would race to like it's a 6-3 race, for example. But the nice thing about the Friday night tournament is that if you play 3 out of the 6 weeks, on the 7th week they have a big money added event. They hold back, a portion of everybody's entries through all the 6 weeks, and then they do a big money added event on the 7th week. And then obviously 8 ball on the Saturday, and that is staggered entry according to your Fargo. So if you're under a 550 and under, I believe it's like $15, but it's then double knockout, race to 4, race to 3, so you get your money's worth. And then on Sunday, it's a staggered entry as well. So if you're like 550, you pay $15, and it's a race to 5 and 4 on the 9 foots, which has been really great for my game. Didn't show this weekend, but I can definitely feel my game changing, and my cue ball manipulation is getting much better. So, for $15, a whole day out playing pool is fantastic. Like, you can't even get that in an hourly rate at a pool hall. So, definitely try and check those out. My favorite is the Sunday. And I was saying earlier in the last stream, oh, look outside pocket. Just threw it right back into the side. So Sean jumps out of his chair. Ball in hand on the 4 ball. Oh yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about. But yeah, if you can make it out to the weekend tournaments, $15 is definitely well worth your money, and it'll help your game for sure. And you get to play against these great players that everybody's so scared to put their money in against. But my game is changing. Patrick Neal, thank you for joining us. Nice to see you on here. James, so yeah, those weekend tournaments, those are all including your green fees. And Leather Pocket takes a minimum of green fees. I believe the green fees are like $5. So, well worth it. Nice shot by Sean there. Don't get over the 10 ball. It's the only thing he didn't want to be awkward over the 10. But he has enough experience on these shots. Sean's a great shooter. Originally from Medicine Hat, which is about 3 hours away from Calgary. And then moved to Red Deer, about an hour and a half on the other side of Calgary. But he travels into Calgary for a lot of our events here. Just great competition. Oh, Sean missed a fairly routine 10 ball, but he does not sell out. Leaves it tough for Eric. Good 8.5 feet on this shot here, and no gimme. I don't know if Eric's gonna go for it or try for a defensive shot. He's calling the bank. Don't mind that. Could be a little bit of a two-way, depending on the speed. Obviously, you don't want to hang it. One for the speed. Sean's going to get a good look into this 10 ball into the side. Sean McKay gets over the hump on the board. I'm fully expecting this match here to go the distance. Like we just went over, Sean and Eric have a 10-point difference in their Fargo. So skill level fairly even. We're gonna get our first look at a break from Sean here today. I think Sean was on one of the streams yesterday. We haven't seen him yet today. Draws back nice and slowly. Cue ball gets kicked in the corner. So Eric's going to get ball in hand on this one. The 5-6 is going to be tricky to get on here. I do believe that 5-6 needs a little bit of a bump to open up. I think the only option would be to get short side on the 5. No, I'm looking live here on the table, and that 5 doesn't even go short side. It looks like it might go on the screen, but not in real life. So Eric is going to play the safety. Three foul rule is in effect here. I'm not sure if he told Sean that he is on 2. The scratch on the break counts as 1 foul. Oh no, sorry, he's not on 2. This would be 2 if he misses this ball. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Now that is 2. It's going to leave Eric the 110 combo for a quick game. If he can make this. It is 4-1 for Eric over Sean. Sean, unfortunately, just has not had too many looks at this table. If you guys are just joining us, this here is the Fall Classic from the Leather Pocket here in Calgary, Alberta. A side is being played on the 9-foot diamonds, racing to 9, playing 10 ball. 10 ball also on the B side, but being played on the 7-foot diamonds, racing to 7. Another great break from Eric. He's got a good look at this one ball here. A little short side cut on the one, but it is makeable. Opts for the safety. Looks like Greg Cairns and Mike Fadoon are finally finished their match. That took about 2.5 hours. Looks like Greg was victorious since he is staying on the 9 foots. Must have been close. Great hit. Makes the 1 and the 10. 10 ball is going to spot. And because Sean did not call the 1 in that pocket, Eric is going to opt taking it. Looks like Eric's just looking for somebody to spot this 10 ball for him. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm going to do that for him. One sec, guys. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Just had to spot that ball for Eric. Spotting those 10 balls are kind of a pain when you got a ball sitting on the spot. I think Sean sees enough of this 2 ball to make it. Just depends if he wants to be aggressive enough or how confident he's feeling in his stroke. Not the easiest of balls. Went for it. Undercut slightly. This layout here looks fairly textbook. I like Eric's chances here. 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the 6 ball here, just next to the 10, if you guys can't tell. It's a little bit dark. The 8 ball went in off the break, I believe. Ben Francis is starting his match with Greg Cairns on the next table, just beside. Joe Spence and Jason Klatt having it out on the next table. And then on the far end there, we've got James Hornby and Mark Vinogradov. Those are our final 8 on the A side. Lots of great matches going on. I do happen to have the payouts here available if you guys are interested in hearing. Or if not, I'm going to tell you anyway. 42 players we had. It was staggered entry, anywhere between $125 to $50 is what you paid depending on your established Fargo. So it's going to be $920 for first, $680 for second, $490 for third, $340 for fourth. 5-6 spot is going to be $220, and $160 for 7-8 spot, and $100 from 9 through 12. So not a bad payday for a weekend full of pool playing, hanging out with your buddies. I really like how Eric just takes that extra moment just to make sure. Be sure is the slogan here. Our very own Benny Lou used to, you could hear him holler it from every corner of the pool hall. Be sure, be sure. Definitely tell the players that take that to heart. We'll just do a quick little rundown here, guys. Just want to give out a shout to our new partner, Predator. If you could have your wish list of partners in the billiard industry, Predator is going to be in the top 3 for sure. We're super excited to have them on board. And if you haven't already heard, we are going to be the first to have access to these Predator tables. They are beautiful. I was honestly thinking, I don't know what else you could do to a table to make it any better looking than something like a diamond or a racin. What more could you do to a table? Predator did it. They look absolutely amazing. So can't wait to see them. We're going to be getting our first lot probably in February. That is the estimated arrival time. They are going to be 9 foots. 7 foots will not be available until the summertime. But if you are interested in any of those details, send us a message, a quick email to sales@qsportslive.com, and somebody will get back to you with the details. Another great break by Eric. Makes the, looks like it was the 8-ball again. Chad, you are correct. He's saying that Vargas is so smooth. He does have a great stroke. He's just kind of like, as he hooks himself on the 2-ball. But he does have a great stroke. It's kind of like a mashup between, you know, a great smooth 9-foot player plus a little bit of that Filipino flair that we've all grown to love. But he gets a lot of action. The spins that he gets is pretty incredible. Good contact on the 2, but didn't get behind the 10 like he wanted. Keith Yowzer says, congratulations on receiving your Predator sponsorship. Thank you, Keith. We are super excited. Like I said, I mean, if you could have your wish list of, you know, somebody to team up with in the billiard industry, Predator has got to be like one of the first names that come out of your mouth. So we're super stoked. Steven on YouTube, he says he's got one hell of a break, and he sure does. Just nice to watch, you know. And he's been making a ball on every break, which has not been the norm out of all the players we've been watching today. Usually takes a player, you know, 3, 4, 5 breaks just to kind of find where in and around where you should be. Great jump shot. These guys make it look so easy sometimes. Whereas I have a hard time making it over a quarter of a ball. It's something I do need to practice. And I know there's a lot of people out there that believe that, you know, jump cues changes the game and they shouldn't be allowed and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of figure, you know, it's just one more element to a game that you have to learn. I mean, being able to kick a ball has its merit, and I think it's still very useful because there are times where you can't jump a ball. You still have to know how to kick, but being able to utilize a jumper is also great. You know, it's just like adding call display to your cell phone. Like all these little add-ons. Spears in the 3. Does he get a look at the 4? 7 moves just out of the way, and it looks like the 4-ball goes, but that's a tough shot. And what do you do with the 5 next? So maybe a little bit of a safety play here. Yes, sir. A little hide and seek for Sean. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We would appreciate it if you shared the stream. There's going to be a lot of great play coming up. We are down to the final 8 on the A side. And I believe down to 16 on the B side. So I'm not sure how much further we're going to go on the A side and how many we're bringing back tomorrow. But once we are done with the A side, I'm sure we're going to swing the cameras around for the B side. The last tournament we had here, our cameras were just not in a great position to do the B side, but I think we figured it out for this one. Sean called this the kick in the side. Just needed it to be a little wider. Good news, bad news for Eric. He's got a shot on this 4, but that 5-9 makes it a little bit tricky, and I don't think it is. I don't think it's wired to the corner either. Let's take another look at that. Looks like it is a little bit off. Is he gonna bump it? That was a great effort. What a great effort. He barely missed that. Thank you for sharing, Keith. I do appreciate it. Looks like he's going to be attempting a kick on this 5 ball. It's a good hit. And rewarded, hiding right behind that 7. Sean's got his jumper. Oh, no, he's kicking. Good contact, though. And that is key. You definitely don't want to be giving your opponent, especially somebody as good as Eric Vargas, a ball in hand. It's kind of like sealing your own fate. So Eric's just going to take an extra minute here and figure out what he's going to do with this 5. I don't believe it passes the 7. Sean jumps out of his chair. First time he's had a good look. Just needs to travel the table. Everything is open, but he needs to be on the bottom end, the top end, the bottom end, the top end. Nice little stun over. Hopefully Sean's got some angle here. Naturally coming back for the 10. It looks like he's fairly straight, which always makes it a little bit more difficult. Got to really stroke this. Which he does nicely. No need to get perfect on the 10 as long as you make it fairly easy on yourself. Just slight cut, half table. Excellent. Sean's going to get another one here. And I'm just going to show you guys this again. This is the Predator tables that we have coming in, scheduled to arrive in February. These are going to be the first release. We're super excited about this. The 9-foot Predator Pro pool table. Limited quantities available, you guys. So if you are interested in any of the details, send us a message here to sales@qsportslive.com and somebody will get back to you with the details. If you have any friends that are looking for a new pool table, this is going to be the cat's meow. Pun intended. We will also have access to the Predator Arena lights as well. So if you guys have seen that at any of the pro events down in Vegas or whatever, these lights are open in the center and they are rectangular to mimic the pool table, and they're all LED and they're absolutely gorgeous. And as a Predator reel, we will also have access to the Arcos 2 balls, which are super popular and what we're playing with here today. And I'll tell you guys, this is probably my favorite set of balls to play with. They hit so nice. The contact feels so solid, and they're a little bit heavier than the standard Aramith or the Cyclops. So I've really enjoyed playing with this set. And nothing but good feedback from the players also. Blake is watching on YouTube and is asking if there is an approximate price. I don't have those details, but if you message sales@qsportslive, Blake, they'll be able to give you the details. Looks like Eric has inherited a nice layout here for this table. Nothing is too tricky to get on. Everything is laid out fairly nice. I think the key here is going to be the 5 to the 6. Ends up being perfect on the 5. Might be a little too perfect, to be honest. Looks like he is dead straight. Little big stroke and some juice. Trying to come up and back down. That did not work. So a little beam of hope for Sean here. I feel like this layout was fairly textbook for somebody of this caliber, but getting to that 6 from the 5 was key, and it was tough when he ended up way too straight on that 5. So Eric is going to just contain Sean. Let him see it, but I mean, this is no gimme. Sean is glued to that back rail, it looks like. Oh no, he's about an inch off. Looks like he's sitting on that rail. Tough shot to make nonetheless. Perfect weight. Great shot by Sean there. Had he have rolled an extra 1 or 2 inches, he would have been hooked solid by that 10. But I think Eric can see the edge. Hard to see from any of these angles. But Eric can either see the edge or he can kick it and hope. Just give it some good speed. That 6 ball should land on the back rail. Oh, he could see the edge. And I think Sean can see it here. I appreciate everybody sharing the stream. These are some good matches. High level play. Both Sean and Eric are around the 720 Fargo. So definitely experienced players. Oh, did he get him? I think he did. Just enough. Perfect weight Sean put on that cue ball, sit right on that 9. Oh, Eric could see the whole ball. I thought maybe he was hooked by the edge of that 9. Sean's got another opportunity here to play it back. Oh no, the 6 ball didn't come back as straight as Sean would like, I don't think. think he wanted the 6 ball to be more in line with that 8-9. Come back that way. And there we find out that Eric is human. Misses a 6 ball. Had an opportunity there. Tough shot. It was the full distance of the table. But I've seen Eric just spear those in on more than one occasion. Sean's got a good chance here to chalk another tick up on the board. Sean can cut this 7 ball into the top left. Natural shape for the 8 ball on the right side. Daryl Johnson checking in on the Facebook. Hey, Daryl. Nice to see you. 2601 on the YouTube is loving the defensive play. And honestly, I feel like if you can nail down your defensive play, you've just leveled up. That is definitely something that I need to work on. Just those little finessey shots, the little soft taps, going around a ball just to hide. Those are definitely key in these big table rotation games. Might see Sean go all the way around for the 10 here, which he does. 3 rails in great shape on the 10. Tony is asking on YouTube what the Fargo rating is where you're considered a pro. I feel like the 720 mark is kind of considered the semi-pro. Anything over and above 750, I think is 750, 770, I think is maybe pro. Don't quote me on that, but that's just my feeling. Oh, and I forgot to give Sean his game here. Give me a sec, guys. I'm falling behind. Getting a little tighter. 5-3. And like I said before, we've got some barn burners happening here. We're down to the final 8 on the A side. Mark Vinogradov and James Hornby still on the A side, racing to 9. Ben Francis is playing Greg Cairns on the table beside us here. And the other match that I would have loved to have streamed also is Joe Spence and Jason Klatt. I don't know what the scores are, guys. I don't have any scorecards up on the table, so I will try to see if somebody can get me an update. Larry Walper online there commenting about the smooth cue ball, and I believe he's talking about Sean McKay's haircut, or lack of haircut. We miss you here, Larry. It's one of our very own CSL buddies. Larry Walper has just recently moved for a job in the Hat, as we were talking about previously. The cat or the clat in the hat is something that we're going to make happen at some point. But Larry has just recently moved to Medicine Hat. Otherwise, I'm sure that he would have been here playing this Fall Classic. All right, looks like Sean is getting more and more opportunities here. And Sean is going to capitalize on these opportunities. He's not going to be too aggressive. He's just going to play smart. Eric is up 2 games. And at the very least, he just wants to make sure he gets caught up so that they start even again. You don't want to let a player at this caliber get too far ahead because it is tough to catch up. That was a great shot and great weight. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I could have flipped the camera for you. That probably would have been a better view from the side. Eric makes contact with the 1. He did call the 9, but the cue ball followed it right in. Nice shot by Sean here. The 2 is going to lead nicely to the 3, to the 4. 4 to the 5 might be a little tricky. So Blake on YouTube was saying that he was trying to figure out at what Fargo point you're considered a pro. And Blake was figuring that, and he said, don't quote me either, but over 725 is considered pro. Boss Mustang said he was going to say over 740. And to be honest, I don't know if there's an actual set number where you're considered a pro. And I think that's kind of like the whole, and I know you guys have probably heard Grant go on this rant before, but I don't think there's just nothing written in black and white for billiards where it's like, at this point you're considered a semi-pro, at this point you're considered a pro, and these are the steps to get to this level. There's just nothing black and white, and I think that's kind of the problem with the whole industry. And to be honest, I think Fargo is still fairly new. It's, it's, oh no. Sean just missed a fairly routine 3-ball to get to the 4. But the 4 to the 5 is still pretty iffy. But like I was saying, I just don't think that Fargo is still fairly new. It's still kind of in its infancy stages. It's not as much as it's considered international for the higher level players. I don't think that it's been spread out to the amateurs as much as it possibly could. I mean, I think it's getting there. But yeah, I just there's nothing black and white to distinguish the levels or the steps and what makes you this rank or that rank. I think there's still a lot of work to do as far as the Fargo rating system seems to go. But with that being said, I think it's probably one of the better rating systems that has ever been applied to billiards overall. So Boss Mustang has a good point on YouTube. He says, doesn't BCA have a rule as to a certain Fargo you are not welcome to play league? I don't think that they have a rule as far as league play, but I'm pretty sure that the magic number as far as their international event in Vegas, their number is 720. At 720, you're limited to I think there's 2 events that you could possibly play. So if you're around that 720 mark, you are not able to join a team play with your league members from your hometown type of thing. And I only know that because our Ben Francis is kind of stuck in that position. He is let me just take a look here. He is a 725, and he was planning to go to BCA in September with the postponed event from COVID. And from the previous year, he was allowed to play in those events. As of this year, he was very limited as to only 1 or 2 events, and he was not welcome to play teams. But with that being said, is that just a house BCA rule, the international rule? I don't think that's a set rule known internationally. Dave Harding on Facebook kind of runs with that crowd. He says that there is no pro number. Anything over 700, really, you can hang at pro level. Brian's Flight Billiard says, it says on Google, because Google knows everything. Just kidding. Between 700 and 800, LOL. So it kind of just seems like anything goes. But to be honest, in my opinion, I find that there really is no difference between a 700 Fargo and a 780 Fargo. I feel like at that caliber, another great break by Eric, at that caliber, I feel like every player can cut the same ball. They can cut the same ball, run it down the rail, they can make the same bank shots. I feel like what separates a 700 Fargo from a 780 Fargo is the mental aspect of the game. It's how you can stay focused in a tournament environment, how you can stay focused in like a Moscone style environment, how you deal with pressure with money matches or sets, tournament stamina, like when the tournament is running 15-hour days, for example, playing morning pool versus guys that can only play pool at night. I think that's really the difference between a 700 and a 780. And that's just my opinion. Because I think you guys are right as far as, having a 700 player in the room and a 750 or a 780. I feel like, one of the players is going to have an edge. But it's not drastic, and it wouldn't be crazy for the 700 to win a match against the 750. It would be crazy to think that, a 550 could beat a 750, but between a 7 and a 750, I think I think the 750's got the edge, but wouldn't be surprised if the 700 came on top every once in a while. And Brian's Flight Billiards agrees with me. Thank you, Brian. Not that I'm at that caliber. I just seem to notice that, it's just the mental part or the psychology part of billiards that really distinguishes between the good players from the great players. Nerves is a level up, he says. Absolutely. I fully agree. Boss Mustang on YouTube says, or if pool is your job. And I've heard that probably a million times. And I have to agree to disagree on that one because I feel like anybody can quit work, like a 9 to 5 or whatever job, and quit and play pool. Does that make me a pro? No, totally not. A 600 or a 620 level player could, be all cocky and quit his job and say, I'm going to make my living at pool and like run around and be like a $5 or $10 master level player, go around and play the $5, $10 weekly events. Does that make him a pro level player? No. I feel like in order for you to be a pro level player, you should have a set number or income coming in from sponsorship. I think that would make you more of a pro level player, along with the skill, along with a minimal Fargo rating, call it 740, if that magic number is 740, and an X number of income coming in from a sponsorship, that might make you a pro level player. But I think anybody can quit their job and play poker for a living. I mean, depending on what you call a living, what does that mean? Like you just have a cell phone and, $800 rent? Anyways, just my opinion, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just talking smack or whatever, but Sean is making a go of it here. Just needs to cut this 5 in. I believe he sees the full ball. Just a little bit of focus here. Get out on these 4 balls. Get it within 2. You're right, Jarrett. So Jarrett is just saying on Facebook that it's funny how you see the guys at 700 plus level that are down to earth and will help anyone and super helpful and fun to be around. And then there are those guys that are 700 plus and they're totally arrogant. We are so lucky in Calgary to have so many high level ranked players that are so good to everyone around them. And I think you are right. We are very blessed in Calgary. We have such a strong pool community in Alberta, period. Calgary, Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, Edmonton, and everybody just, it's funny like how everybody kind of runs around in their groups or their cliques, but once we get to like an event like in Vegas, we're just all family, which is fantastic. And they are very eager to help, which is great. That's why we have such a high level of play here. And David Harding, that runs around with this circle, says most pros still need some kind of secondary income now. It used to be that gambling was enough to make a living, but now that's only top tier. Most sponsored players just have equipment sponsored now. It used to be income and equipment. So all good points, David. I think that, if you have, if we can call a set number, a relatively average income, call it say 30,000. I know that 30,000 is not a lot these days, and people probably couldn't get by with that. But if you had a sponsorship of, 30,000, even if it's with one sponsor or 5,000, or sorry, one sponsor or five sponsors. If your total income was like 30,000 with due to sponsorship, I think that would maybe classify you as a pro level player, because you're able to sustain and live, you know, not super comfortably, but enough to get by with that sort of income. Maybe that would be considered pro level, but like I said, nothing is in black and white or set in stone. Oh, Sean did not call this double bank on the 7. Eric is going to jump out of his chair here, see if he can nail another win down. And Jared is saying that the Pool family is how he survives EMS. And so helpful and thankful, willing to teach and show you stuff and help you develop. If it weren't for the Pool community, I would not be able to make it in EMS. Well, we're thankful for you also, Jared, and what you do with EMS. It's probably not said enough. So Blake is saying on YouTube that the average pro rated player, sorry guys, talking too much, my lips are freezing up. The average pro rated player makes around 32K plus. That's what he's reading. Yeah, and like I said, guys, this is just discussion and just my own personal thoughts. It's not CSL thoughts. It's just, brought up by topic that has been brought up before. And just my personal opinion, which is absolutely worthless to anybody out there. Exactly what you paid for it. Free to everybody. All right, another opportunity to watch one of Eric's breaks. Very smooth. Big backstroke. Big backstroke and pushes all the way through. I don't think, has Eric had a dry break yet this set? I don't believe so. A little more angle on this 2-ball than Eric would have liked, I think. He's going to end up being on the wrong side of the 3 or having to come all the way around. Oh, sorry, Carrie, I didn't see your comment there. In 10-ball, unlike 9-ball, the games are very similar. You have to go in consecutive order from 1 to 10. 1 to 9 or 1 to 10, whatever you're playing. The only difference in the game really is that 10-ball is call shot. So you cannot fluke a ball in. If you fluke a ball in, your opponent gets the option. He can either stand up and take the next shot or give it back to you. So depending on the situation, if you're hooked on the next ball, then your opponent may opt to make you shoot again. Also in 10-ball, 9-ball, typically the 9-ball will count off the break. In 10-ball, it's typically spotted. So those are the only major differences. You're taking the fluke ability out of out of the game with 10 ball. Nope, David, early 10s do count. Just not on the break, obviously. 10 ball spot on the break, but early 10s do count. You're welcome, Jarrett. Just filling in for Grant and Ben. They are still in the tournament, unlike myself. So I have the time to sit with you guys. And you know you're always going to get my opinion, whether you ask for it or not. Anyways, thank you guys for the topic, because it's definitely easier when you guys are in the chat and giving me something to talk about. Otherwise, it just kind of gets boring calling the shots. I mean, and these guys at this caliber, that was unfortunate for Eric, just doubled out that 4. But at this caliber, I mean, their level of gameplay really speaks for itself. I don't really have to tell you guys that he's on the 4 ball. He's going for the 5 ball next. Okay, now on to the 6 ball. So it definitely helps to keep engaged with you guys. David Harding is saying that he actually prefers having the combos not count and the 10s having to be last. He thinks that that might be the norm at the pro level. And to be honest with you, I don't mind that either. It just it just adds a little bit more skill to the game. You know, I'd rather see players run a whole rack of 10 balls versus, you know, making it to the 3 and making a 3-10 combo. Just makes for really short racks. But it does add a little bit of time to the tournament, although early 10s are not often common. I was wondering what Sean was going to do with this 7 ball. It is close to the side, but it was a little bit of a steep cut. I think that maybe he only had a half or a third of a pocket at best, so he opted to run, what was it, 2-3 rails to get back on top of the 7. Just go to the corner, makes it a bigger pocket. Looks like he does have a little bit of angle here on the 7. He would like to come out, you know, kind of center table for the 9. What a great shot that was. Made that look so easy. I find that those, you know, fairly straight shots where you have to really stroke the ball and come around with, you know, some right or left English on it and really punch it through or push it through, those shots are really tough for me. You got to make sure your arm is super straight. That is one more tick for Sean. He's going to get it within 3 again. He's trying to not let Eric get to the hill. Boss Mustang on YouTube says Grant didn't seem too positive about his chances on the 9-foot table last night. Good to hear he's still in the tournament. So, as I don't know if you guys know or not, but Grant does not play a whole lot of 9-foot. He's just starting to get into it, but Grant is a bar box, a 7-foot player. And The 9-foot has been somewhat intimidating, but I think he's starting to get an interest in playing the 9-foot. He's had a taste of it. Same kind of idea as myself, where the both of us were not as terrible as we initially thought. So we're getting a little taste for it, and I think we're catching the bug. So great shot, great break by Sean here. Has a good look at the one, and it's not an easy shot, but everything is well laid out. The 1 to the 2 is a little bit tricky. It's not that the 2 doesn't go somewhere, but you may have to try the 2-9 combo. But that's the only issue I see here, really. But anyways, Grant didn't like his chances on the 9-foot. He doesn't have enough or as much of experience on the 9-foots as the rest of the room. But then he didn't know who his opponent was, and he walked smack dab into Jason Klatt first match and got kind of punished, which is okay. I mean, you expect that, and the reason why the tiered entry is the way it is because Grant didn't have to pay as much as Jason to enter the tournament, but what a great experience. I mean, Jason is staying with us at our house and stuff, and Jason is a good friend, but at the end of the day, you don't get to play Jason Klatt on a competitive level all the time. So, to pay $50, $70 in order to have that experience is feasible, totally. And the nice thing about this tournament here, if you missed it, the A side is on the 9-foot tables playing 10 ball, racing to 9. And the B side is on the 7-foots, still 10 ball, but racing to 7. So not necessarily the winners on the A side are favored to win on the 7-foots, or vice versa. The 7-foot players are not favored to win on the 9-foots. So it kind of it's a nice little mix-up. Makes it not so predictable. So Blake is saying that Brunswicks are one thing and diamonds are totally different animal. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. But I mean, in the same breath, I mean, a 9-foot table is a 9-foot table for somebody who is used to playing on a 7-foot. Regardless if it's a Brunswick or a diamond, doesn't really matter. You just have to learn how to pot balls at a longer distance, add 2 feet to the table. As far as balls being accepted into the pocket, it is a little bit different. But I feel like if you guys saw the Predator tables that we're going to have access to, because I'm so excited, the Predator tables are going to play a little bit more like a diamond. They are 4 1/4-inch pockets. The Arcadia cloth, which is supposed to be superior to Simonis, it runs just as fast, if not faster, but more durable. And just the look of the table, I think, is just so hot. So if you guys, like I said, if you're in the market for buying a pool table, these Predators, super, super hot. Michael Rock on YouTube is asking, is this a 700 and above tournament? What is the range? So like I was explaining earlier, this is a tiered entry tournament. So anybody at any Fargo could enter. Your Fargo determined your entry. So for example, if you were a 550 and under, you only paid $50 to enter this tournament. Let me see if I can find the flyer for it. If you were a 700 and above, you paid $125. So anything from $50 to $125, depending on your Fargo, that's what you paid. So $50, $70, $80, $90, $100. So it was not limited to a caliber of player, which I think is fantastic. I am kind of tired, to be honest, with the entitlement attitude of pool players where, oh, Eric just misses the 2-9 combo. Opens up that 2-9. It's easier to get on, but no gimme for Sean here. But I'm kind of tired of, I don't want to play that tournament because those players are too good. I think, and we've had this conversation a million times where, back in the day, we just had to earn it. You had to get your beat downs in order to get better. And I think that we've kind of lost that along the way with, players saying, I can't compete, I'm just donating. Yeah, well, that's just how it goes, you know? And even if it's a donation, it's a donation. But at the end of the day, if you can make it reasonable for the lower level players to get involved into a competitive environment, I think it's worth it. It was worth it for me to pay $50 to play in an all weekend event on 2 different size tables, playing against fantastic players, being in the same room as Jason Klatt and Joe Spence and Sean McKay, Eric Vargas, rubbing shoulders with these guys and just being able to watch them play and learn something and watch how they get from one ball to the next or table patterns, things like it's a good investment for me. At 125, would I have entered? Chances are very slim to none, I'll be honest. But for $50, I think that's feasible. Call it, good, cheap entertainment for the weekend. Dave, I will let Grant know that you upgraded your phone just in order to, to watch the streams. We appreciate it, for sure. We always enjoy having you join our chats. So Blake on YouTube is saying that, being unvaxxed is kind of an issue, blah, blah, blah. And now you can afford negative tests and enter. So I will send you a flyer, Blake, a poster. I just recently found out that Grey Eagle Casino here in Calgary is giving free COVID tests. They are free. Let me just see. Give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can send that to you. Just so you know, if the COVID tests are free, then you're good for 72 hours, right? So helps you enter into these tournaments anyways. I know a couple players in the same boat, so you are not alone. All right, looks like Eric is on the 4 to the 5. Just wants to sit on the left-hand side of the table here so we can get the 5. 4-9 combo for Sean. I'm not sure if that 5 passes the 7. He might have to take that into the side. That looks good. Tic-tac-toe, it looks like, for the 6, 7, 10. And we're back within 2. I'm going to give a quick shout out to one of our other partners here. This is Jam Up Apparel. They do all the apparel for the juniors associated with the BEF down in the US. Give them all their sports jerseys for the teams, for the juniors down there. And super proud, those guys have had a great couple of events and had great results. Gem Up Apparel has got the greatest jerseys, you guys. I've got a few of them myself, obviously, and they're the most comfortable. Do not crack, do not fade. So for your team wear, go check them out. They can do something completely custom, or they can just slap your names on some of their pre-made designs as well. So check them out. If you have any questions, just send them an email. They're pretty responsive. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they did do the jerseys for Shane Van Boning in the last Predator 10-ball events down in Vegas. And look, they look pretty sporty. And apparently Shane has worn them since, like not even at those events that they had agreed upon. So he obviously likes them. Just gonna take a look at this one ball that Sean's got here. It looks like it's a little bit of a funny angle. A little hide and seek. Oh no, he spears it right into the side. What a great shot that was. To make that shot into a side pocket where you've kind of got only a half pocket or less than a full pocket and spear it in like that. It's a great shot. So Blake on YouTube was saying that because of his inability to get to a lot of the venues because of restrictions now, the CSL IPL has kind of been a great answer for him, and I would have to agree. Also, on top of that, it helps your game. I've definitely seen a difference in mine. If you guys are interested in the CSL IPL, that is Ghost League for those of you who don't have any BCA sanctioned or APA or CPA sanctioned leagues around. This is a great way for you guys to get your sanctioning. They sanction BCA, APA, and CPA. You just have to play one session. And Bust Mustang says that he does love the Predator lighting for the 9-foot tables. The lighting for those tables, boss, is super great. I think it's probably one of the best lighting apparatuses that I have seen. It's just, if you guys haven't seen it, go check out the Predator website. They've got a picture of them there. But it's kind of like a rectangle, but it's open in the center. So if you guys have over the table cameras looking straight down on the table, it doesn't interfere with the table. But we'll also have those lights available for you guys as well. Just send in a message if you guys want details on that stuff. Dave Harding needs a medium shirt, but he's extra fat. Me too, Dave. Me too. You know those models that you see like on commercials and stuff? I look exactly like that underneath all this fat too. Exact replica. All right, we're back within one, you guys. We got a match. And this is just a quick shout out to Nick's Q Innovation. He is our local Q maintenance guy, and he is fantastic. This is just his side hustle, you guys. He has a regular job, but man, does he ever put in the work on off hours just to make sure that he gets everybody's stuff back to them in a timely manner. His workmanship is fantastic. His rates are so reasonable, probably overly reasonable, and his turnaround time is great. Like within a week, and he'll make sure that he gets it back to you as soon as possible. If you are not in Calgary or the surrounding area, he has many customers, many customers that ship their equipment to him, and he ships it back to you. He's just great all over, like all around. I have not been able to find better. Great break by Sean McKay here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 balls on the break. Does he see the 1 ball? Let me just take a look here. He may have a window. Breaking from the side point. Overran the cue ball slightly. He wanted to have that 2 ball either into the side or the corner. Didn't want to be left with a combination. What a great safety that was. Nice little touchy shot. Looks like Eric is locked up against that 4. Let's take a look at this front view here. Jim Orzel says that with our new partnership with Predator, it might slow up Grant in the morning because he'll have to choose between his jam-up shirt and Predator shirt. It is true, but I have a good remedy for that, and we'll see if it comes to fruition. Darcy Wiltz checking in. Hey, Darcy, nice to see you. Thanks for checking in, friend. Hope you and the fam are well. When are we going to see at some of these tournaments? Good contact. Great shot by Eric there. That ball was tough to get on. Got to have a good sense of imagination to come up with those shots. Another great safety play by Sean there. Looks like Eric's going to go back for his jumper. Just hook half ball for the 8. Up and over for the 2 ball. He's calling it in. Great contact. Oh, he's going to leave a hanger for Sean, though. I don't see too many issues with this layout. 2, 4, 7, 8. Just a little back and forth with the 7 and the 8. 8 to the 9, I think. Eight to the 9, but I don't think that's going to be much of a problem, to be honest. Blake says, thanks for the great angles. You're welcome. All 2 of them. That's all I got, though, Blake. Sorry. If we ever win a lottery, we'll get more angles on the table for you. Everybody likes variety. And Darcy says he's going to play, but it's too sad that he works too many hours. Ain't that the truth? I feel you, buddy. Oh, Sean was maybe a little too focused in making the shape from the 4 to the 7. Missed the pot. That is key. Darcy's watching with his 3-year-old Sophie. Hi, Sophie. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good weekend with your dad. Kevin Nuremberger says, how is the sizes run with the jam-up shirts, small or larger as tagged? The shirts actually have just gone through a bit of an overhaul because we were finding that they were running a little oversized. And so we were getting a lot of people saying, you know, this wasn't advertised, this is too big, blah, blah, blah. So they went over an overhaul, and the shirts are now more true to size. They've kind of brought them down a little bit so that they're not oversized fitting. But the size charts are on the website. If you pull up a jersey, you'll see that the size charts are there, so you can measure out like the bust and the length and the arms and all that kind of stuff. So check it out, Kevin. Aw, thanks for watching, Sophie. You make sure that your dad tells us when you're watching the next one, and we'll say another hello, okay? Glenn Golf checking in from Romulus, Michigan. Thanks for tuning in, Glenn. Glad to have you. Need to get my scoreboard here to mark another one up for Eric, who is now on the hill. It's a race to 9, guys. So one more game for Vargas. Sean is going to try to grind this out, get a couple more games in there. I have seen Sean on many occasions run a three-pack. That's kind of like the norm, so just got to get something going here. Oh, is this going to be a dry break? This might be the first dry break from Eric that we see at this match. His breaks have been so consistent. Travis Bird checking in. Hey, Travis. Thanks for watching. Okay, Kevin. I pronounced it right, but don't ask me to do it twice because I don't know if I'll get it right the second time. Tim is watching football and pool. Can't beat that. I would say the only way you beat that is if you're watching pool at work. That is the only one up. If you're getting paid to watch football or pool, that would be the only winner. Did Eric just airball that? I believe he did. Regardless, Sean McKay is going to get a ball in hand on this table here. And other than a little bit of traffic, this table is laid out pretty good. And if you guys are wondering, I'll just give you the rundown of the payouts for this tournament. We had 42 entries, staggered entries, so they played, oh, hanger. Players paid anywhere between 50 to 125 for entry into this tournament, depending on your established Fargo. So first place is going to be, oh, sorry, let's go from the bottom. 9 through 12 is going to get $100. 7, 8 is 160. 5, 6, 220. Fourth place pays 340. 490 for third. 680 for second. And 920 for first. So almost $1,000 for first place. Not a bad payday for a couple days of play. Doing what you enjoy. So guys, I'm not really sure what we're going to have coming up next. I know that they were planning on bringing back kind of like, you know, a small group of people for tomorrow. This tournament was slated to go 3 days. Now that we're down to, last I looked, we're down to the final 8 on the A side. I'm not sure if we're going to have another A side match tonight, but if not, if we do, we'll be back with another A side match. But if not, we'll be back with a B side match. That's the 10 ball on the 7-foot tables, racing to 7. So after this match finishes here, we're just going to surprise you with whatever comes up next. I'll figure out from the bosses over there what the plan is going forward for the rest of the night. If you're just joining us, this tournament here at the Leather Pocket in Calgary, Alberta is the Fall Classic. I believe this is going to be an annual event in and around this time every year. Oh, a chance for Sean. Quickly grabs his things, gets to the table. But this tournament here was, it's 10 ball on the 9 foots on the A side, racing to 9. 7-foot 10 ball, racing to 7 on the B side. So another great little format, makes everything run super fast, and the players are not waiting a whole lot of time for matches. Sean not too pleased. He overran this cue ball slightly. Just need to pot this ball, come out center table for the 8. This is a chance to the table that Eric probably shouldn't have had. Sean is normally a very consistent and solid player, so I'm actually very surprised at how many chances Eric is getting to the table here. But, you know, everybody can't play perfect all the time. This is a bonus turn for Eric. So it looks like a couple of matches on the A side have completed. So Ben Francis just defeated Greg Cairns, and Mark Vinogradov beat James Hornby. The only 2 matches on the A side that we're waiting for right now is this match that we're watching and the Jason Klatt Joe Spence match, which would have been fantastic to have on the stream also, but we can't watch them all. Everybody's got to have a turn. The final 10 ball for Eric. That is not the last we're going to see of Sean McKay. This is the A side, so Sean's got another shot on the B side. He is just an equal amount of a monster on the 7-foot tables too. So on that note, guys, we're going to shut it down, and we will restart when we have another match. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to be another A side match or B side match. Actually, give me 1 second here. Let me see what I can do here. 1 second. Hang tight, guys. Sorry if I'm making you guys a little motion sick. I just kind of thought maybe I can swing the camera around to give you a view on the Joe Spence Jason Klatt match. This is a monster match here, so don't go too far, guys. I know people are dropping off because I was like ready to sign off, but then I thought, well, maybe I can just swing the camera around, which I can. I am not sure what the score is, however. So we're just going to have to watch them and see if we can see them move their coins. It's a great thing with these PTZ cameras. They can swing around just via remote. Take these names out of there because they do not apply right now. Great stroke by Jason there. And nice angle just to float up for the 10 or stun over. Can't really see his angle here. Joe must have said it's good. Gave him the 10 ball. And it looks like Jason's just going to run to the washroom real quick. CJ says that he appreciates my effort. Well, you are very welcome, CJ. We'll see you later, Dave. Thanks for checking in. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat box. This is just a little bonus footage, you guys. This table is literally, I would say, 30 feet away. Just swung the camera around and zoomed in a little bit. Hopefully give you guys a little taste of what's going on the other table here. This is the only other A-side match that's happening right now. Everybody else is done. Mark Vinogradov defeated James Hornby, and Ben Francis still on the A-side after beating Greg Cairns. We just watched Eric Vargas defeat Sean McKay. So I'm not sure if there's going to be 8 more A-side matches tonight. There may be one more. If not, we'll be back with the next match on the B side, on the 7-foots. If you are still tuned in, this is a pretty deadly match here. Jason Klatt versus Joe Spence. Dave Wilkin, I just preempted all your inquiries. I presumed you were going to ask me, so I pre-answered for you. It was good timing. Oh, and I blinked and I missed who moved the coin where. So I'm not sure if the score. Damn, I was trying to be so patient and watch and see. And I blinked and I missed it. John Graves checking in on the YouTube. What's up, our American homies? Wishing everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving, filled with tons of laughs and loved ones. Our Thanksgiving is not until November, but hey, we will take part in your American Thanksgiving. Not really sure what's happening here, Joe. Joe's a great jumper. I don't know why he's not jumping this. Just playing the safety. Uh-oh, get there, get there, get there. He didn't get there. I think Jason sees this one ball. Gets down on it pretty fast. Slim cut. Definitely saw the ball. Uh-oh. And brilliant shape for the 2. Sometimes you gotta get a little lucky. You gotta be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. That door swings both ways. However, he might be a little straight on this 2 to get back to the 3. Uh-oh, look out. Just avoided a bad situation there. Had he been slightly behind that 10, that would have been a totally different story. Looks like it is the 3 to the 5. 5 and the 7 on that left-hand rail there. Opts for the safety play. Not terrible, but a tough shot. Let's see if Joe can come up with something good here. Nice little 2-way containing safety shot there. I think I did see Joe call the corner pocket if it did go. But if not, he was hoping for this leave here. Leaving it tough for Jason. I'm not sure if Joe's got a window here between the 10 and 9 for that 3. Oh, Rayner's paying attention. He's saying that Jason moved his coin to 5. So now the trick is to find out what the other coin is. So that must be Jason's coin on the top side of the table there, on the right-hand side rail. Thanks for paying attention, Rayner. I blinked and missed it. Great shot by Joe. Goes unrewarded. Just be nice that, you know, every time you made a great shot, your next shot just lined up perfectly, you know? Is that too much to ask? A little Z shot. Looks good for me. Jason's body language does not look pleased with this. It looks like Joe got fortunate. Solid behind the 9, maybe? Jason's just taking a step back, taking a look at his options here. He's got his jumper out. Just want to make contact. You just don't want to give your opponent ball in hand, which he accomplished. Good news, bad news. Joe's got a great shot on the 3. Bad news for Jason. Joe's got a good shot on the 3. Curious to know what the other coin is at. Missed it. Hard to see the angle that Jason's got here on this 3 ball. I don't know if he can hold it to make the 7 in the top left. He looks like he's kind of rethought his strategy a couple of times here. He's reset a couple times. Decided to not hold it. Back and forth. Just run forward off the rail to make the 8 in the same pocket, perhaps. Oh, Joe's going to get a bonus return shot to the table.
How many bring him back tomorrow?
1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, just had to answer a question there. Nice shot on the 9 from Joe. Jason says it's good. All right, Joe's up a game. Oh, it looks like it's 8-5 for Joe over Jason. I think I just saw Joe move his coin. Joe has been playing exceptionally well. He's been putting in a lot of time at the table. And I will just let you know, currently, Jason Klatt comes in at a 770 Fargo. Joe Spence is at a 722 at time of registration of this tournament. Actually, that might be as of this morning or yesterday morning. It's probably when they ran the numbers. Sunil, there's no score showing because this is kind of a bonus match. We finished our feature match where our cameras are set up, and I just thought that who wouldn't want to watch this match going on? I think this is going to be a pretty exciting match, watching these guys shoot. So I just swung the camera over, and I wasn't sure of the score, so because we just kind of tuned in maybe 20 minutes ago or so. So this is just bonus footage. Jason was at the table pretty quick there. See if he can swing over for that 2 ball. Looks fairly straight from here. Oh, well, he got to the 2, but he didn't pot the 1. I believe that is a good safety play by Joe. Looks like Jason is fully behind that 5 ball. Makes good contact, doesn't sell out that way. But left a cuttable shot for Joe. Looks like Blake and John are having a good conversation about what is going to make them better in the long run. I know Blake has been playing the CSL IPL and has been able to watch himself on the camera, which has kind of been an eye-opening experience, he says. Sometimes you're just unaware of, the little glitchy, quirky things that you do when you're getting down on a shot, or I missed that ball because I totally chicken winged it, or, why didn't I take this ball instead of that ball first? Like, what am I doing with my table patterns? Like, so if you guys have a chance, if you're interested in joining the CSL IPL, it is a Ghost League, and it is arranged by divisions depending on your skill level. And you can play 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball, and you can play in table divisions. So you can play either on a 7-foot table or an 8+ division, so 8 foots and 9 foots together. And the cost is, obviously for a 10-week session. But then the league pays out according to your standings after 10 weeks. So a really great way to get sanctioning for BCA, ACS, or CCS. And to play competitively, if you're not playing league this year, or you live in a remote area perhaps and just can't get somewhere that's got sanctioning, look into it. If you guys have any questions about it, send CSL a message and they will get back to you with the details. I believe the next session starts in February, so not too far away. It looks like somebody land just came by and packed up the balls on the stream 9-foot table here. So it looks like the A side is done for the night. We'll be doing B side matches for the rest of the evening. So we'll probably swing the camera around to the 7-foot side. Hans is asking where Jason calls home. I believe Jason is back in Winnipeg. Maybe Toronto. Now you have me questioning that. He moves around so much. I know that when he was here, a few months ago, he was going home to Winnipeg. But I'm not sure if that was just for a visit or if that's where he's calling home. But he has moved back to Canada from the States. He is back in Canada for sure. Four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Jason made a ball. I didn't see it, but obviously he made a ball. So I really like this layout that Jason's got here. This match might get a little bit tighter. Tim says, "Wish we had that out here." Which part, Tim? What do you wish you had? Maybe I can help you. Jason's moving around this rack pretty quick. Feeling good about it. Quick little run out. Joe says that's good. Ran it down to the 10 and you're pretty much dead in. Don't think these guys are going to be missing a whole bunch of those. Although it's possible in my case. Blake reads that Klatt is from Manitoba. So Klatt was actually living in Winnipeg for a long time, and then I believed he moved to Toronto for a bit, and then he moved to the States. He was in Illinois, I believe, with his girlfriend. But they recently split and he has moved back to Canada. I just don't know exactly where that is when he was here. Like I said, a few months ago, he went back to Winnipeg, but I'm not sure if he was just going there for a visit or if that's where he hangs his hat or his hats. He has many of them. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Joe sees this one ball really well, and I like Joe's odds of getting out here. He's on the hill as far as I can see. I think he moved his coin to 8. We have a very strong pool community here in Calgary, so it does not surprise me that somebody is giving Jason a run for their money. Looks like Joe's got quite a bit of angle on this 5, so chances of him holding for the 7 are slim. So I think we're going to see a little bit of back and forth. Uh-oh. Too much fourth. Too much fourth. Very dangerous when you're giving a pro-level player a ball in hand with 4 balls left on the table. That should be curtains on this game. Okay, so it looks like... Oh my god, does this mean Hill? Is that 7 for Jason, or is this 8 for Jason? Oh, Jason just moved his coin to 8. Guys, we are headed into a Hill game. Jason's just gonna run to the, he couldn't get that rack, so he's gonna run to the washroom. Take a quick breather. Tim says they have BCA, but he'd like more leagues like we have here. So, Tim, if you wanted ACS or CCS, depending on where you live, well, you've got the flag in your profile picture, so I'm assuming you're American. But if you play the Ghost League, it's a 10-week session, and they will pay your sanction to get ACS sanctioning. So you would be willing to go, or you'd be able to go to any of the ACS nationals that they have in May. You'd be qualified to go to that. You would have to check with your state, but there are a lot of the states have state events. So I would check into that. Like honestly, with depending on your skill level, that will determine what your entry fee is. And if you have access to a table, whether it's a home table or at a friend's house, or if you can go to your local pool hall, all you have to do is live stream your match, your ghost session once a week at any time of day, whatever works for you. Once a week, you stream to a private group, and you just record your stats, how many runouts you get, how many points you get, and at the end of the 10 sessions, they award prize money. They pay out the top 25% of the field, and you're qualified for those extra events. So if that's something that appeals to you and you want more sanctioning with more bodies, that is definitely an option. So if you have questions on that, just send Grant or Ben a message, either on their Facebook or through the Q Sports Live Messenger, blah, 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 whatever. They will be happy to answer your questions. This is Hill, guys, so hang on to your caps. This is going to be the last of the A side for tonight. Looks like they're going to bring back 4 on the A side tomorrow. I think Jason just got away with something there. Doesn't look like Joe's got much of a look on this one. Hill this match, guys. It is 8-8 in a race to 9. This is just some bonus footage if you're just tuning in. We just finished our mainstream match here. That was Eric Vargas. He just defeated Sean McKay. And I've been itching to watch this Joe and Jason Klatt match, so I just swung the camera around, and this is just bonus stream. Oh, Joe just almost made that one ball. Oh, no. Look at the layout of this table. I love Jason a bit, but you got to cheer for the underdog. I think, you know, Fargo-wise, Joe is a bit of an underdog, and he's just been playing so great lately. Jason just needs his extension, a little bit of a reach for him. And if you guys were just tuning in, it looks like the score that Jason came back from, it was 7-5 when we first tuned in. So Joe had a little bit of a lead. Just a couple of untimely mistakes and a run out by Jason. It's got Jason back into the game. This is where the grind is the make or break point. Aaron is asking if that's Alex Paguline playing in the background. And I know it's so funny because I know exactly who you're talking about. Jason's going for another extension. Doesn't want to be reaching. It would be terrible to misstroke something here at this point. Joe was so close. Take down Jason Klatt. Sorry, guys. I was just rooting for the underdogs. There, you want them to win so bad. But in any case, Jason was the favorite to win. But it was so close. And I don't think, guys, that is going to be the end of those two. So on that note, I am going to shut it down now. I will reset and swing the camera around to the B side. That's on the other side of the room. I'm going to refresh my drink and shake out some cricks from sitting here too long. But anyways, I will be back. Probably give me 10-15 minutes and we'll have the next match coming up. So don't go too far. We'll be back